Equine scientists and horse owners have long suspected that there is a potential genetic component to cribbing and other stereotypies in horses. And when I say long suspected, I mean like for hundreds of years people have suspected this. These suspicions have been due to observations of horses over the past couple hundred years that have shown us that cribbing is more common in certain breeds of horses and even within certain bloodlines of those breeds. Thoroughbreds and warm bloods seem to be more likely to crib than any other breeds, with thoroughbreds being 3 times more likely to develop cribbing as a repetitive behavior than other breeds, and warm bloods being almost twice as likely as any other breed. Though it could be argued that the prevalence of cribbing in these breeds is not necessarily due to genetics, but the management that these breeds commonly receive. Since thoroughbreds are commonly used as racehorses or high-performance horses in other disciplines, and warm bloods are also a common choice for high-level show prospects, they are often subjected to more strict management that is not as species appropriate as some other breeds of horses. This is one of those situations where we have the whole correlation does not equal causation thing at work, because just because we see cribbing more in thoroughbreds doesn't necessarily mean it's genetic. It could be genetic, but there are also other factors that play into this. Though, because cribbing does seem to be more common within certain families of horses, with some studies showing that if a horse has a parent that is a cribber, they are more likely to be a cribber too, it does reinforce the potential of a genetic predisposition. Efforts to identify these specific genetic causal factors have yielded no results as of yet. There are many potential genes that could influence compulsive behaviors that haven't been investigated yet, like those that control certain dopamine and GABA receptors. So we don't know what gene is the culprit yet, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Many equine scientists are convinced that there is a genetic component to cribbing, and some studies have confirmed that there are genetic factors that play a role in the onset of cribbing, but the cribbing gene specifically hasn't been identified yet. Some veterinarians and equine scientists now are actually recommending that if you have a horse that cribs, you don't breed them, because there is the potential for them to pass on that behavior to their offspring. Regardless of a potential genetic predisposition, that doesn't mean that every horse that cribs has that gene, and even if a horse does have that gene, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will develop cribbing. A genetic predisposition means that you have an increased likelihood to develop something that's inherited, not that you have a 100% guarantee to develop it.